I've been looking for a good forehand mid-range. So I'm out here today going to compare a few mid-ranges for my forehand, but ultimately, if none of them are better than the Discraft Zone, then I really don't care about. So the mid-ranges I have today is the Malta, the Buzz OS. This is really the one that I hope works for me. Then of course I have the Zone because this is my primary forehand approach shot disc. Main goal is to find a further flying zone that I can forehand, that I can control. Hole one's gonna be about 294 feet. I'm gonna start off with the Discraft Zone. It's a little bit short, but really the preferred flight there is that it goes dead straight. It doesn't waver any to the left. And I can really trust that it's gonna have a fade to it. That turned a bit left. Had some solid fade, although I did throw it pretty dang high. Holy shit. Okay, the Buzz OS is gonna be extremely stable. That is a good sign, although I think my arm needs to be warmed up a little bit more. I did not expect it to actually be that stable. And that same thing. So not really, right off the bat, not really giving the Malta and the Buzz OS. The Buzz OS looks like it's gonna be really freaking overstable, but that's good. That's kind of what we want. Just gonna have to loosen up the arm first. Now, if my voice sounds a little funky, that is because we just got back from Nashville. My girlfriend, friends, and I went to Nashville for the weekend. Here's a few pictures of how that went. I don't wanna show you the full story because that'd probably be bad for me, but had a great time. If you like drinking, you like partying a little bit, we're all 24, 23, so it's kind of what we do right now. It's a great time. Here's where the Malta landed. Not very good, but obviously just get up and down for 3. Or blast it past the basket, apparently. Little Buzz OS. Maybe we could throw one of these in for a little highlight. Honestly, not a bad effort. Come on, Max. Okay. Finishing up some pars here on hole 1. Really what we learned here is that I need to give the Malta and the Buzz OS some more credit. Definitely a little bit more overstable than I was predicting in my head. Of course, I kind of like the Buzz OS because it feels just like a Buzz, but gonna be more stable. The Malta is a beaded mid-range, so that you kind of have to get over a little bit because it does feel a little funky in the forehand form. There's a little bit more give in the center of the disc, whereas the Buzz OS is a much flatter disc. Might just feel a little bit better in the forehand grip for me. All right, I really do want to apologize because these are all gonna look like the same holes, but the distance are gonna change a little bit, I guess. 280. Par 3, I don't know what else to say. Dead straight with a nice fade. Honestly, if you don't have a zone, I don't really know what you're doing because it's one of the most perfect approach discs ever. I usually max the zone out about 260. So anything within 260, I'm usually throwing zone. If it is a little bit further, I'll probably switch to the jawbreaker zone because it's a little bit more understable, meaning I can get it a little bit further. So still drifted a little bit. That time I kind of gave it a better, more consistent line directly at the basket. Still a little bit of drift in the middle of its flight, but overall not too bad. So it came out a little wobbly, but it really might fly like the Zone so far. I feel like the Zones come out a lot cleaner than I can get a mid-range out, which is gonna affect consistency and distance. Honestly, that Malta is not a bad flight. There's no real drifting in the Malta like there is the Buzz, but it's not as overstable as the Buzz OS. Part of me is also curious if I should even be trying to forehand a mid-range. Like, is it even worth my time if I can throw the zone so well? And then anything that's, you know, further than a zone, then I'm just gonna stable up to a fairway driver and get the distance that way. The only reason it would be nicer is just the pure fact that it doesn't have as much ground play. So if I can't get a zone there, I can go mid-range and still not get so much ground play. The Zone and the Buzz OS actually coming up the shortest. Funny enough, they're like the same distance as well. I think I threw the Buzz OS on more of a hyzer than I did the Zone, but the Buzz and Malta about pin high. Pretty good shots overall. My goodness, I can't believe I made that. Sneak it in. It like hurts kind of to talk. Kind of embarrassing too, because some of my sounds are not sounding like normal. Felt like I threw the Malta and the Buzz kind of the same, where it was more of a line drive straight at the basket. Obviously the Malta being a little bit more overstable, finished more right of the basket, and the Buzz was able to stay a lot straighter the whole flight. Go. Buzz is absolutely parked. Hole 3 is gonna be 320 feet, slightly uphill. Basket lies kind of on the slope of that hill. This should be a real test of distance here. Definitely don't think I can get my zone all the way there, although we are gonna give it our best effort just in case I can. But really for the mid-ranges, if they go a little bit further, giving me a better birdie chance. Nope, terrible shot. Obviously that fades out very, very quickly. Kind of what I'm scared the Buzz OS is gonna do, to be honest with you. I just turn that over like immediately every time. It really doesn't go any further, I feel like. I even try to put that on a little Annie and you can still see how much it fades out. Nope. So clearly getting back to 320 feet, my shots are kind of going all over the place with the mid forehand. Honestly, Buzz OS and the Buzz, and I guess the Malta, all went further than the zone. The problem is they're all over the place. And also, they only went about 10, well, Buzz OS might have went about 30 feet in front of the zone. The other two went about like 10 feet. Now, my girlfriend is recording these shots, so if they're all over the place, you know, you can blame her. I don't know if she can hear me right now either. Go in, come on, one time. Nope. A little short. Oh man, it's so close. Why can't you just go in one time? Oh, baby, and I glided on through. Let's go. A couple of decent putts so far today. I think I've only missed one of them so far. Hole 4 is gonna be 230 feet. I wanna show you these tee pads they have out here. 4 stones, not bad. A little bit curious if this school has like a club if they come out here, because I'm pretty sure I've never seen anybody else out here playing disc golf. On a normal 230 foot shot, I would always probably pick out zone regardless, but see if we can get any hyzers. Maybe we could catch one in the basket. That'd be kind of sick. Oh, get down. Whew, just a little bit short. Oh my gosh. I got extremely lucky that that flipped up to flat just slightly, otherwise that would have been horrible. The absolute meat hook of a Buzz OS. Drop. Half the time I feel like it goes the same distance as my zone. And I can get the Malta to flip up slightly, but all in all, it still has a really consistent finish to it, which is nice because you can trust it. Zone parked. The ESP Buzz should have really been way off to the right side, but luckily it did flip up to flat slightly where it stayed a little bit straighter for me. And of course the Malta's strong finish. Ooh, baby, another one. Hole 5, about 270 feet. Got a bit of a right to left wind on this one. It's like a full power on the zone. I don't think it's gonna get there though. Coming up a little bit short with the zone, but going over this left bush here kind of forces me to give it more power to try and get it to push over there and also get the distance. So it'll be a little bit more interesting to see if the mid-ranges make that easier for me to do or not. That just doesn't have the same sort of fight in this right to left like the zone does. But it's gonna come up way short, I think, yeah. Has the fight that I'm looking for, stability that I'm kind of looking for, but I almost think it's a little bit too overstable. I feel like the Buzz OS, I'm throwing just as hard as the zone, but it's going just as far. That's more of a direct line at it. The Malta is not doing too bad today. Hit the pole too. Go. Snuck it in, probably should not have went in, and the Malta absolutely parked. Give me a good finish there. Last hole of the video, 275 feet. I'm not sure if we really have a winner of today, but we did get some knowledge out of the 3 discs that I brought here to compare with the zone. Get some decent flights out of them, but I don't know if I love them. Oh my gosh. Oh, thought we did it. Turn for me. The only thing good about the Buzz so far is the fact that it goes a whole lot straighter than the other 2 discs I brought, which means when I make a mistake, it's usually a little better off than the other 2. Buzz OS going slightly deep of the basket. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost missed that. And of course, the zone. All right, guys, that is going to do it for my first video of trying to find a forehand mid-range. I'm not sure I really found it today. In this video, you could kind of tell how I throw the zones and how far I can get them. Very consistent flight out of them, and that's why I'm not really sure it matters if I have a forehand mid-range. All in all, there were several shots where all the mid-ranges went further than the zone. With the Buzz OS, I felt like I was throwing it just as hard to get at the distance of the zone, and if I had a jawbreaker zone with me, I think I could throw that a little bit softer and easier and it still go the distance of the Buzz OS. I was very impressed with how overstable this disc was. I just think it might be a little bit too overstable for me. Maybe I should just beat it in a little bit more and it'd be perfect. The Buzz was probably the furthest flying disc of today, although with that being said, not all the time did I know exactly where it was going. It liked to turn a little bit more. Then the Malta had a nice consistent finish to it. I felt like every time I could get this to go pretty straight and have a good fade at the end of its flight. The overall feeling of the disc, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I did get some good throws with the Malta. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think I should try next. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.